Okay, hello everyone. Okay, so I did this program when I was doing the chapter 3 programming challenges, and that's the original program. That's the chapter 3 programming challenge I did over here. And I realized that most of it wasn't necessary. Actually, if all the if statements, all the if statements were necessary. All the if, else, if, they were necessary, and let's say most of it wasn't necessary. But I guess in some ways it can be helpful. And that's how I was thinking about it when I was doing this program. But most of it wasn't necessary, and I'll redo this program. I mean, this program still works, and it's perfectly fine. I'm just saying it's not some parts of it. It's not necessarily needed. So it still works. You can still go by this, and it's fine. I'm just saying some parts of it isn't necessary. This has been broken down in many steps, but it can be squeezed into a few steps. But this still works. But I'm going to do another version of this, another variation of this, in a much more shorter manner, but combining some of these statements together, combining maybe two statements together, or even two or three statements together, or even four statements together into one to try to squeeze this up. And that is also going to work. So let's do that, and I'll explain to you why. I'll come back to this and explain to you why it wasn't necessary. Okay, but it's safe. It's safe. I mean, in terms of it has extra details that keeps it safe. But again, it's not necessary. All right. So I have the question here, so I'm going to redo it. So let me go ahead and create the class. And also one more thing, I will be adding this. Actually, yeah, you see it. So I'll be adding this to the playlist other/requested Java programs playlist. And anytime I do like other programs or a different version of another program, I'll put it there. And also I will be doing programs that you guys request or send to me to do, and I'll do them, and then I'll add it anytime I get a question. I'll add it to the question queue, and I'll do them one after the other with time, and I'll post it in that playlist. And also programs like these, I'll also be posting it there. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and I'll create the class. I'll call it time calculator, and I'll create the main method. Okay, so let's see. So we know that, so write a program that asks the user to enter. Okay, so we know that we are going to ask the user for input, right? So let's go ahead and use one of Java's features for accepting user input. In this case, I'm going to use the scanner. I'm just going to use the scanner class just to keep it. I'm just going to use the scanner class. I can use the GOption pane, but I'm just going to choose to use the scanner class for this one. Now, to use the scanner class, I need to go ahead and import it. I need to import the class so that this program can have access to it. So to import it, I need to type in import java.util. Sorry, my typing is not good. So import java.util.scanner. Now, by typing the statement, I have imported the scanner class to this program. Now, to use a scanner, I need to go ahead and create a scanner object so I can use it. So I'm going to go ahead and create a scanner object. I'm going to call it scanner. I'm creating a new scanner object in memory, and I'm passing the system.in method, which is going to accept byte info from the keyboard and then connect it to the scanner object over here. Now we can then go ahead and convert whatever the user typed into integers or doubles or whatever we want them to be in. Okay, so now we have the scanner to accept input from the user. We can use it to read input from the keyboard, from the user, from the keyboard. All right, so let's go ahead. Over here it says, I forgot to read the question. All right, so there are 60 seconds in a minute. If the number of seconds entered by the user is greater than or equal to 60, the program should display the number of minutes in that many seconds. There are 3,600 seconds in an hour. If the number of seconds entered by the user is greater than or equal to 3,600, the program should display the number of hours in that many seconds. Now there are 86,400 seconds in a day. If the number of seconds entered by the user is greater than or equal to 86,400, the program should display the number of days in that many seconds. Okay, so this program, again, I know what this program is expecting, and actually that's how I thought about it. But if you read this question, you may be tempted to just so you could create if statements to say if the number of seconds entered by the user is greater than or equal to 60, then do this. Do this only. Don't do anything else. If the number of seconds greater than over here, the number of seconds entered by the user is greater than or equal to 3,600, then do this only. You may be tempted to do this program in a very simple manner, or even include these if statements. All right, so I guess maybe that's why I put if statements in there. I just trying to follow the question step by step. This question wants the user to enter a number of seconds, all right? And then the program should basically break it down to the exact number of days, exact number of minutes, exact number of, break it down to exact number of days, exact number of hours, exact number of minutes, and the exact number of seconds. So it should break it down. So if the user enters 1 second, we know out of 1 second, I can get 1 hour from it. So 0 hours. Out of 1 second, I can get a minute from it. So 0 minutes. Out of 1 second, I can get. Out of 1 second, I can get a day from it, even a day from it. So 0 days. I can get hours from it. So I can get 1 hour from it. So 0 hours. I can get 1 minute from it. So 0 minutes. But 1 second is 1 second. So 1 second. That's what the user types. So I have only 1 second. If the user typed 1 second, it should return 1 second. If the user types 60 seconds, however, I can get a day out of it, so 0 days. I can get an hour out of it, so 0 hours. But 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute, and that's what this statement is trying to say. If 60 seconds I know it's equal to 1 minute, so it should say 1 minute, and then I'm done. 60 seconds make 1 minute. 60 seconds, okay, it makes 1 minute. Once I display 1 minute, then I have 0 seconds. Okay, so 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute, and I have 0 seconds. Okay, so it should basically break it down to the exact number of days, minutes, seconds. Days, hours, minutes, and seconds. So that's what this program should do. All right. So I have the number of by the time. So first of all, I need to go ahead and ask the user for the number of seconds. Right. I thought I had done that already. Okay. So let's go ahead and ask the user for the number of seconds. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and call or use a system.out.println statement. And I'm going to ask the user for the number of seconds. I'm going to say, please enter the number of seconds here. And once I type this, it's going to ask the user to enter the number of seconds, right? Now I'm going to use a scanner that I just created to prompt for a text box. In this case, I want an int. So I'm going to type in scanner.nextInt. So scanner.nextInt is going to basically pop up a text box. It's going to allow the user to type in a number, and that number is going to be converted to an integer and returned. Now, when that number is returned, I need a place to store it, right? So I'm going to come up here and then declare a variable, which is going to hold the number of seconds. So I'm going to declare a variable. It's going to be an integer, and I'm going to call it user seconds. Okay. Now, when the user types in a number and that number is converted to an integer and returned, I'm going to go ahead and store that number in user seconds. So user seconds is going to hold the number of seconds typed by the user. So now I have the user seconds, so I can based on the value or the number of seconds that the user typed, I can deduce how many days, how many hours, how many minutes, how many seconds. Okay, so I'm going to create this, in let's say 4 lines. I'm going to use 4 lines to basically calculate the days, hours, minutes, and seconds, and then I'll use another line to just display the result. So that's how small this program can get. That's the second variation I'm going to do now, because the other one was, I think, like I said, there's some parts of it that weren't necessary. That wasn't necessary, although it still works. So I'm going to create a variable, and it's going to see over here. I declared variables on their own, and I could have just stored. Well, the way I did it. I could have just directly stored the values in there, but I wanted to keep things separate. I can do the same thing here, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and type in or declare a variable called that's not going to be a double. It's going to be an integer. Sorry, because we want the exact number of days. We don't want any double here. We want the exact number. We want 5 days, 2 minutes, 5 days, 2 hours, 2 minutes, and let's say 4 seconds. That's what we want, right? So we want integers. So I'm going to declare a variable. It's going to be an integer, and I'm going to call it days. Now, and I'm going to, as soon as I declare it, I'm going to initialize it right there and then. I could have declared the variable int days and come here and say days is equal to something, but I'm just going ahead to initialize it right when I declare the variable. I'm initializing it right there and then. So int days now is going to be equal to, now I know that to get the exact number of days, right? To get the exact number of days, when I divide by 86,400 seconds, I get 1 day. So I know that 86,400 seconds gives me a day, right? Because there are 86,400 seconds in a day. So if the user typed in 86,400, if I divide the user seconds by 86,400, I basically get 1 day. So if I divide 86,400 by 86,400, okay, I get 1 day. Okay, what if the user typed in 86,401? Now I know that's 1 day and 1 second, right? So 86,401. If I divide it by 86,400, I get 1 day, and then basically this remainder is equivalent to however many seconds that's left. So basically this remainder, because it's been extended to a lot of decimal places. If I rounded this, I probably would have gotten something close to a second. But this is also equivalent to a second. It's just a remainder that's left. So to get the exact number of days, okay, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to go ahead and divide the user's number of seconds, okay, by 86,400. So I'm dividing the user seconds over here by 86,400. And if I want, I can, you see the way the way I declared seconds in a minute, seconds in an hour, seconds in a day, I could have done the same thing. I could have stored the variables in there. You know what? Let's do it. Doesn't hurt. Let's go ahead and do that. As a matter of fact, I can just do that. I can just copy this. All right, it's good to have this program up. I mean, I could have typed it, but final is just a constant. It's a final variable. It doesn't change. It cannot change when the program is running. If you try to change it when the program is running, you get an error. So it's a final it's a constant. Okay, it is a constant. When the program is running, it cannot change. Like unlike a regular variable, it changes when the program is running. You can change it, but a final variable you cannot change it. So seconds in a minute is equal to 60. Seconds in an hour is equal to 3,600 seconds. Okay, seconds in a day, there are 86,400 seconds in a day. So over here, instead of dividing by 86,400, I'm going to divide by seconds in a day. Okay. All right. I mean, if you want, you can keep the numbers. You know what? I'll just I'll keep the numbers. I thought of doing this just to keep it organized, but I'll keep the numbers. If you want, you can do that. So it's good I mentioned it at least. I'll just keep the numbers for now. All right. So int days, okay, is going to be equal to, this is the exact number of days. User seconds divided by 86,400. All right. So I'm done with days. Now I'm going to create another variable for hours, right? Int hours now is going to be equal to, now I know that 86,000, for example, the user types in 86,401 like we did here, and we divided by 86,400, we are getting 1 point something. Now 1 is the exact number of days. If we can get a full day from it, which is 1, that's what we want to display in days. Anything else, basically the remainder, we want to first of all get the remainder. We want to get the remainder and divide by 3,600 to see if we can get any full hours from it, the exact number of hours from it. We know we can get 1 full day from this. That's all we need for days. Now let's take the remainder, whatever seconds that's left after getting the 1 day or getting the 4 days from it, and divide the remainder by 3,600 to see if we can get any hours, right? So to get the remainder of this, now user seconds divided by 86,400 gives us the 1 point this, right? 1 point basically this number. We've been able to get the full number here. Like we've been able to get the full number here. Now you'd expect 1.00 is basically this number to be stored in days, right? No, because user seconds is an integer, and 86,400 is also an integer. So this is considered as an integer division. user seconds, okay, divided by 86,400. Because these two operands are integers, this is considered as an integer division. And when you're doing when Java sees an integer division, it's going to slash off anything after the decimal point, and then only store the integer part of this in days. Okay, for this to result in 1.0 is basically this number. At least one of these have to be a double. Okay, you have to convert one of these to a double. Either you make this a double or you make this a double. If both of them are doubles, that's fine. But for this to return or store this value, the decimal value in days, at least one of these has to be a double. But because both of these operands are, okay, the user seconds is an integer. So because both of them are integers, this is considered an integer division, and only the integer part of it is stored in days. Okay, so 1 will be stored here. Now let's figure out the remainder from it. We've been able to get one exact day from it. Let's take the remainder. Okay, that's what we need next. And see if we can get any exact hours from it. So let's take the remainder and divide by 3,600 to see if we can get any hours from it, right? So to find the remainder of this division, right, we are going to copy this. Okay. We don't want the user seconds divided by 86,400. To find the remainder of this division, we're going to change the division sign to the modulo sign, right? The modulo sign. So basically, user seconds modulus 86,400 is the same as the remainder of this division. So this is do this division. Do this division. User seconds divided by 86,400, but don't give me the result. Give me the remainder. That's what this is doing. It's returning the remainder after dividing user seconds by 86,400. After we've gotten the remainder, I'm going to surround this with parentheses, okay? Because I want that to be calculated first. After we've gotten the remainder, to get the remainder from basically this division, it's user seconds modulus 86,400. It's going to divide user seconds by 86,400 and give us a remainder, not the answer, the remainder. Oops, sorry. And so basically it's going to give us this remainder. Now we want to divide this remainder by 3,600 to see if we can get the hours. So over here, I'm going to divide that by 3,600 here, like this. And this is going to give us the hours. Now again, all these are integers. Well, actually, it is not an integer. It's not an integer, actually, it's not. Whatever number, this can give us actually it's going to give us a double. But if we type in 86,401, we know we're going to get a double here. So yeah, so it's going to basically divide the remainder by 3,600 and store the results in hours here. Okay, and store the results in hours. So now we have the hours. Now to find the minutes, okay, after we've found a remainder here, okay, after we found a remainder here, and so I was doing something very similar here over here. I was doing something very similar to find a remainder. After finding a day, user seconds divided by seconds in a day, okay, user seconds divided by seconds in a day. To find a remainder, what's left, I was doing user seconds divided by modulus 86,400 over here. User seconds modulus seconds in a day to find a remainder, and then going ahead to divide the remainder by seconds in an hour, which is 3,600. And that's what I've done here. So this is a remainder. I'm dividing by 3,600. So I've put two lines in one line over here. All right. So this is finding the hours. Now to find the minutes, right, I want to get the remainder, okay, from dividing basically this remainder here by 3,600. So give me the remainder after dividing this remainder here by 3,600. Okay, so I'm going to copy the same line, but I don't want the division of the remainder divided by 3,600. I want the remainder of this remainder here divided by 3,600. So I'm going to change this division sign to the modulo sign. Okay, now that's just going to give me the remainder. Okay, that's just going to give me the remainder, and I want to basically take that remainder and then divide by 60 to get how many minutes, okay, left. Okay, so over here I'm dividing by 86,400 to find the exact number of days. After I've gotten the exact number of days, I want the remainder left. So I'm getting the remainder here and dividing by 3,600 to get the hours left. Okay. Now after getting the hours, I want the remainder left. Okay, the remainder left from this division here. So that's why I changed. So basically, the remainder left from this divided by 3,600. So to do that, I need to get a remainder. I need to basically divide this by 3,600. But I'm using the modulo sign to give me the remainder. And after I gotten the remainder over here, I want to see if I can get any exact, basically any whole minutes from this. So I'm dividing the whole of the whole remainder by 60 to see if I can get any minutes from it.